Hey, everybody. Here we are with Chris Bevan, partner at Kennedy Insurance, partner with Jamie Martin and Peter Rooney, two great guys.
And Jake LaCourse.
Awesome. Welcome, Chris. How you doing?
Thanks for inviting me, Paul. This is great.
Yeah, glad to have you, man. This is what it's all about, connecting, collaborating. This group is it's all about support local business, and as we know, local business makes up the community. Kennedy's has been around in this community for over 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's unbelievable. You guys have seen a few things, that's for sure.
Couple.
Yeah. So I wanted to get the insurance perspective on here because you guys have a different perspective. So let me ask a couple of questions. Is business interruption insurance, would that have covered COVID for some business owners or no?
Well, it's not the question. There are many different business interruption forms, and they're purchased by many different policy holders. So there's different claim triggers, but the majority of business interruption losses are triggered by a property loss. So this would be, like, for example, like a fire to your location or a neighboring location, which prevents access safely to your location. That's the stereotypical business interruption. However, certain coverages and certain programs have different triggers, and there may be wordings, there may be not. On the average, there is not, but from a broker perspective, we invite any question on what we can do through COVID in the case that there is no business interruption available. Each insurer is approaching this situation differently with different responses and solutions. So it's our job to ask on your behalf. Like it's time to give us a call. And what I've seen when the province and the country started slowing down and closing down in mid-March, there was a tidal wave of calls, like a tsunami of just inquiries. And then once you get through that, I started kind of proactively talking to some of my clients. Like, I haven't heard from you. Is there any concern that you have? And at that time, they did not. But as things have gone on, certain amount of those clients have got back to me to say, okay, well, this is becoming more of a risk for us. Like, what is involved? So, to give you an answer, I have to be diplomatic and say there is no one answer. But what the thing we invite our clients to do is just call. Because even on the personal line side, it was released a month ago that there will be rebates from some personal auto insurers because of the mileage that's not being driven, and also the financial hardship that people are going through. Each insurance company is going through this differently with different approaches and different processes. So give us a call. If you have a broker and you have a way to talk to a human being, then give us a call. We'd love to help you.
That's what business owners need, is they need that personal connection with their real estate, with their insurance agent, just to kind of walk them through these processes.
We could sell real estate and insurance at the same time, but that ended in the 70s.
Yeah.
And give you a mortgage too. They took that away as well.
So you guys are covering personal insurance, business insurance. Give us, what should people be looking for when they approach, an insurance broker? What is it they're looking for? What are some maybe tips or angles that, to me, it's about being able to relate to you and having a good connection. That really makes the difference. But what else are they looking at?
That's a really great question. I would say that from a business client perspective, you have to find somebody that's going to match your level of professionalism.
Right.
And you got to have someone that's going to tell it to you straight, especially in a situation like this, because if it's open, or if there's a lack of knowledge, or if there's any sort of lag in the broker's expertise, that's going to harm the client. So, the availability of individuals is also important. You want a broker that's not going to hide. You want a broker that's going to be, when you ask the question, that they're there for sure. Mm-hmm. Because being proactive in this time to talk to hundreds or thousands of people, we all have our own individual situations. Like, for example, in my household, me and my wife, we own 2 businesses. We have 2 children. There's only 24 hours in the day.
Yeah.
We try the best we can, but anytime that a client reaches out and asks a question, it should be responded to very quickly. Um, but also the thing is, you have to look at an insurance broker as an RFP. Really, if you think about a bid to a market for a commercial client,
Right.
price is always going to be 40 to 50% of anybody's decision when they look at an insurance product, because it's a consumer product with a very high competition level across various brokerages or insurers to provide you the same product. But however, within an RFP, if you look at it from that perspective, there's still the merits of the support, the service, the claims, the expertise, the knowledge, the recommendations, the experience that broker has in that industry. So, because in the end, what you're doing is you're buying words, and how much money are you paying for those words? So if you're straight looking at a price scenario, your chances of getting burned go up, because you're not really looking at the details, because that's where the devil is in insurance.
Right.
If you're not in the details, if you don't understand it, or you haven't taken the time to truly look at your risk management, that's where people get burned.
Interesting. So, we're in COVID. What does that look like for you guys? Are you currently open? Are you an essential service? Are you doing virtual? What does that look like?
We are definitely an essential service. It was a very interesting thing to see the provincial guidelines come out, because the way it was written originally, when the state of emergency was called, you'd have a line item, and then it would say, well, businesses doing X, Y, Z, or, just sort of expanding sort of the box for people to fit their business into. I believe our number was 37. It just said insurance. That's it. So all facets of what we do is essential in regards to the province and the state of emergency, which makes complete sense, because, a big part of this is understanding that, there are still extreme risks to commercial and personal clients throughout this situation. If your building burns down, it's not like the insurance policy is void. It's just, people at this time are focusing on business interruption as a big topic. But when you're looking at vandalism, water losses, fire, like going back to water loss, if you have a storefront, or if you have a property that you've not checked on and have not properly secured, and there's a water loss, there is exposure for people to have the denial of a claim just based on the length of time that they've not been to their premises. So it's for us, it's been a lot of communication and a lot of just explaining to people the words that they have and the framework of what they have to meet.
Right.
So it's very essential, I guess, when you boil it down, for people to understand what they've got. Does that answer the question?
Yep. So are you guys currently open then? Is there someone at the office, or how's that looking?
Yeah, so our office is open, but virtually.
Okay.
So we're taking all the calls. We're definitely accessible by phone, video conference, email. I would have to credit my business partner, Jamie Martin. He's very forward thinking in the technological front. So the transition for us to close and then service our clients without interruption is totally based on the availability of technology in our systems, and they've been working great. So we invite any communication at all times.
That's awesome. So listen, there's almost 300 business owners in this group. So I would say to these guys, reach out to you, get some of your questions answered. Perhaps do another round of quotes on your package or whatever you're looking at, because you guys handle, again, business, personal, pretty much anything in the insurance world. Mm-hmm. I know at one point Jake was doing group, health, life, and disability. So that write up for business owners is perfect. So you guys handle pretty much everything. So
we do, but going back to what Jake does, because I'm firmly involved in the commercial side of things. So being a partner at Kennedy, I'm aware of all the situations, but you kind of focus on what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
But going back to Jake's, we're the only office in the local area that's able to provide the chamber program. And that extends beyond North Bay. It also includes Temiskaming and North, Mattawa, and West Nipissing. And when it comes to group benefits, there's going to be obviously a financial fallout from this situation. anytime that you want to quote and find a different sort of solution for coverages that you want to afford your employees, I would definitely contact Jake.
Yeah.
His program is very competitive, and what I've been seeing on his renewals, just informally, I'm not licensed to do his side of things, but the renewals are very consistent under the chamber program. So I would definitely give Jake a shout, because in the end, all of us want to continue our business operations and take care of the family that we all have that we call employees.
Yeah.
Because without employees, then there is no business. So when it comes to protecting them, Jake provides a really great service, and I would definitely recommend giving him a call. Also from our side, yes, I invite any calls for sure, even for my own clients, to requote what they have. The only thing that I would caution is the expectation of timing.
Right.
The thing about insurance companies also being virtual and having thousands of their workforce working from home, dealing with certain circumstances like children and different things like that, just think about a little bit more cushion of time.
Yeah.
Because what I've been seeing is we try to push issues that are urgent for sure, and sometimes they're successful, sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
And that's kind of out our control. So if a business owner or individual wants to really look at their insurance and kind of go through it, I would give yourself just a little bit more cushion than you normally would.
Yeah. Yeah. We all have dogs and kids running around in the background, right? So we've got to deal with certain things. And yeah, I had lunch with Jake a little while back, and he explained the power of the chamber program. So that definitely is a super powerful program for small business. So I would encourage anybody to look at that with Jake for sure.
Definitely.
Anything else that they may have missed? I guess the best thing for people to do is to reach out to you at what phone number is best?
Well, our main office line is 705-472-5950. And our front desk can direct you to where you want. And generally just give us a call that way. My direct phone number is 705-472-5744. You can text, fax, or call me on that line. I just really want to turn around and give you some gratitude for what you're doing. I really truly appreciate the fact that that you're doing this and bringing this to the local business community. I think people, they need a place during this time, because it's so random and so new, with no end in sight or no answer of how it's going to look when we all come out of this, or when we come out of this. The who, what, when, and why is very up in the air. But I think your efforts to build this community, I think, are fantastic, and I really have to give some gratitude for you.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, I appreciate that, but it's when you talk to these business owners, they're afraid, they're nervous, they're scared, they don't know what's coming at them. So any little bit of attention or eyeballs that we can put on their businesses, it hopefully will help. It will do something. And I'm all about. I was at Toyota for I was there for like 20 years. I left there a few years ago, but I remember Tim and the donations that we gave as a business, much like you guys. You guys have been around for so long. The contributions that you've given to the community, sponsorships, all these things. It's now time for the community to rally behind all these businesses that they need. They need the community. So anything that we can do to shine a light on these businesses, to shine a light to the community, to say, listen, let's support local first, and then you can go outside there. But listen, try to do everything you can locally. And that's kind of my push, is just any attention we can get on these local businesses, I hope does something. So I appreciate those kind words. But let's just make sure that all these businesses are still there.
Yes.
30 days from now and 60 days from now, because we need that. That's the backbone of North Bay. Always has been,
now,
always will be.
Months from now, 106, 112 years from now.
Yeah. Yeah. So listen, say hi to Jamie for me. Say hi to Peter for me. And Jake, of course, that's who got us hooked up here. Love Jake. Jake's a great guy, great community leader. And yourself, Chris, thank you so much for hopping on. I greatly appreciate your time.
Much appreciated to you, Paul and Clark, and everybody there.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy.
Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.